Bob Madison Bono walking around, like that. They also might have like a mirror like this that came in all kinds of different forms. And they would get the mirrors from the trading post and then build these boards around them. And there was all kinds of different. And a lot of them were like this, so you could drive it in the ground. So when you sat down on the ground, they just drive down the ground and they like sit back. The men were like that, and they were supposed to be. And the men dressed up a lot more than the women, a lot more often than the women. And the men were expected to be real vain, and for two reasons. Because today, that's really frowned on. Yeah, as it should be. But when you think of it like this, and how they did. So number one, if the young men in your tribe look like these guys up here did, that means your tribe is powerful and strong, and we're doing well financially, and we're secure, all that. So that's how they saw it. They weren't like, well, look at him, strutting around, blah, 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 blah. They were like, oh, yeah, great, all that stuff like that. So that's the main thing about it. And also, it was great entertainment. As I said, they didn't have TV, so it's great entertainment to see all these young guys strutting around, showing all their stuff, trying to get the attention of all the girls. And that's all they did most of the time. Well, that age group, that 17 to 20 age group, and most of the men didn't marry until their early or mid-20s, and the girls were almost always married by 14. Yeah. And that's kind of a current process today, too. I personally think girls should be allowed to be a girl before they come out. Yeah. So anyway, but they would carry these mirrors around, and they also believed that the mirror had a spiritual power to it associated with the sun, where you take the power of God working through the sun and be back up on that end. So what looks like you're worshiping the sun, or worshiping an eagle, or worshiping a buffalo, they were not. They almost all believed in one supreme God, but the best way to look at it is those were like deities or angels or saints. That's another way to look, like an eagle, the sun. All of those were beneficial things that God worked his power through, and how God helped man and God communicate better through all those other things. So that's another basic of Indian religion. If you don't understand, it looks like they were worshiping they had like hundreds of gods today. One God, power came, and the sun was the most powerful physical manifestation of God. Because they knew without the sun, everything would cease. So they would take mirrors like this. Now be careful, ladies. So if any girl they were interested in, what they'd do, and the girls would be like working, they worked like all the time. And the guys would like get up at 10 or 11 in the day. Yeah, really. They didn't get up at the dawn and jump into the river like anything. They were young guys. But they would go, then they would take their mirrors. Any girl they were interested in, they'd take the power of the sun and then like flash her in the eyes with it. And they'd be like real subtle with it. Like I say, the girls knew all this, so she might be working away like, she feels that she just knows she got zapped by one of the guys there. And so what you're trying to do is, you look into the mirror, it takes a little bit of your soul out of it, and then you take the power of the Son of God, and you force your soul down into that girl by her eyes look into it. And now, your soul is inside of her. So like when two souls touch, you're in love. So what you're trying to do is make her fall in love with you. But then they would like yank it out and look back into it really quick. Because they didn't want